I wanted to send an update. I thought the easiest way to give you a whole bunch of information would be to send you a video or make a video, post it all over the world. As you can imagine, gathering the children back together has its complications. The CDC has come up with some interim guidelines to help us reopen, and I wanted to share them with you. I wanted to share the guidelines and what those look like at Song Sparrow Playgarden, and then also what my summer program looks like, because I'm very excited to have come up with a summer program that can bring the children back together and give the parents some much needed space and support and coverage, and have their children in a safe place. So first, I would like to just skim over the highlights of these guidelines just so you have a good understanding, and please know that these guidelines pertain to day camps, schools, and childcares. They are called interim. They pertain to phases 1 through 3. They could change at any time, as we know. There's no end date on it. The way I'm interpreting them and what I'm doing with them is I'm just going to have them pertain to my entire summer for now, until they tell me otherwise. We are now in phase 2, which means that those of us who hold a small family or a family childcare license, which I have to hold in order to have a preschool at my home, we are now allowed to expand our care to non-essential workers. But we can remain open with social distancing measures. Some of the safety actions they'd like us to take in all phases is healthy hygiene practices of wearing masks, the teachers wearing masks, washing hands of the children all of the time, and just making sure that we have all the supplies we need to support healthy hygiene. We need to intensify our cleaning. So maybe at the end of the day we would have sanitized, now we just need to sanitize throughout the day. We need to ensure social distancing by keeping the classes the same group of children each day and restrict mixing groups. In my program, it doesn't really pertain much, but if you have a really big day camp where normally you'd be separate for a couple hours and you'd all come back together, things are a little complicated. So if you haven't heard from your day camps and your schools and you have no idea what's going on, this is why, because they are just trying to wrap their heads around how they're supposed to do this in a safe way. We need to space out seating. And in phase 3, we're allowed minimal mixing. We're not quite at phase 3. Hopefully we'll be by the fall. Also, we need to consider staggering our drop-off and pickup. We need to avoid immediate contact, such as shaking and holding hands, and hugging. And we need to limit sharing. So no more family-style crayons and scissors and things like that. Each child will have their own assigned to them. We need to have some signs up encouraging people to stop the spread of COVID and how to do that. And we need to monitor symptoms. The California Department of Social Services, which is the umbrella over child care licensing, their main thing that affects me is the ratios. So they're allowing us small families to increase our ratios, yet they don't want our groups to exceed 10. So we can have up to 14 kids, but we can't have more than 10 in a group. So I'm just going to have 10 because I can't keep 2 groups separate on this property because there's not a whole bunch of shade out there. So what do those guidelines look like at Song Sparrow Playgarden? My goal is to keep all the children as relaxed, bring things back to normal as possible, and while also keeping everyone safe. My program will be 100% outside, and I will have one small group of 10 together all summer, all 3 months of summer. I will have staggered pickups and drop-offs, 15-minute increments with about 3 families each. I will have a touchless check-in. So I work with Brightwheel. It's a software program online. There will be a QR code at the gate that you scan with your phone. And that will be how you check your child in. Sanitation. children will bring their own lunches, which they normally do in the summer. And we're also installing a sink outside. So we'll have a kid-size sink, a kid height sink and a teacher height sink, and so they can wash their hands throughout the day. We are going to do our hand washing just as part of our routine. You wash your hands when you arrive, you wash your hands before you eat, you wash your hands after you eat, you wash your hands before you go home. It's a lot of hand washing. It ends up to be about every half hour we're washing our hands. I ordered some lovely soap that is organic and it's gentle on our hands, but it works really well. I will be doing periodic screening. I ordered some touchless thermometers. So again, it'll just be part of our routine. When you arrive and wash your hands, I'll go beep beep and I'll put it in your record and you can go play. If someone tests positive for COVID, we'll have to close for 2 to 5 days and assess. Contact tracing, figure out if anyone here's got it. Hopefully people could get tested by then. And then we'll be able to come back together. If you're sick, please stay home. I used to be really relaxed about runny noses and coughs, and I just can't be anymore because it's just how it spreads easier if you're coughing on someone. That also brings me to, I've increased my age group for the summer to be 4 to 7. Mainly because I know I can trust them to sneeze in their elbows. I can trust them not to just like walk around with their fingers in their mouths. As we know, toddlers lick everything and spit all over everything, and we can't keep their hands out of their mouths. So I need those little ones to stay home with their mamas and their daddies and their grandmas. If you're considering sending a 4-year-old here, or even a 3-year-old sibling, because I'm allowing siblings that are younger so that they have their older sibling to take care of them. Please keep in mind that they should be able to use the restroom by themselves. They should be able to get their lunch out by themselves. They should be able to put a Band-Aid on themselves, get changed if we're going to play in the water. Basically, I'm just trying to handle the least amount of other people's personal belongings as well as their bodily fluids as possible to keep me safe and my family safe. I'm really excited about the program that I've created and how rich and full it is. I'm working on getting a Waldorf teacher that has a focus in art to be in charge of our art program this summer. And then I'll be focusing on circle games because it gets really hot here. I'll have a 10 by 20 party shade that just sort of lives here. It's a party tent. It just stays here all summer. There's a counter with all of our art stuff on it, and then a snack table, and usually an art table too. How we're going to stay away from the family style art supplies will be interesting when you're using glitter, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Again, I feel really comfortable if I know that the sink is right there and we're washing our hands all day, and you're not eating it and you're not putting things in your mouth. Again, older kids, I just really trust that. I will have an assistant, even if it's not that particular dream assistant. I will have an assistant that is focusing on the art. I will provide an organic fruit snack as well as a starch and a fat every day. It's pretty light snack, so make sure that those lunches are hearty that you're sending your child. It's just my favorite time of year, and I just have a real strong passion for having it be minimal transitions, really ample opportunity to dive into creative play, creative art projects. We have chickens out there in the big yard. There'll be a swing out there in a couple of weeks. So please feel free to get in touch with me if you have questions. I'm very excited about having children back here, and I think it's going to be really great to just see them connected again. I hope you have been hanging in there during this quarantine at home with children. I really feel for those families that have children that have been stuck at home. There's many in our community that are in their 3rd trimester with toddlers, who have just given birth with toddlers, or with their school-age children that are just dying to see their friends. And I'm just hoping to create a space that's safe, where they can just get back to being kids. I miss you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.